Keeping it in the family, I see. Next, we're going to hear from Sharon Herson, who's going to do a tribute to Pete Seeger medley and a sing-along, so prepare your vocal cords, please. Kids, I'm talking to you. Hey, who in the front row knows a Pete Seeger song? Okay. Well, listen up then. Oh.
Pay me, pay me,
I'll wait while Daniel distributes. Some of you probably know who Pete Seeger was, but for those who don't, I will tell you a little bit and you will also get an idea from the songs. Pete Seeger is one of my idols from the 20th century. He arguably, you might say that he was one of the great men of the 20th century. You can make a really, really good case for that. Because not only was he a fine musician and a folk singer, but he was very active and very influential in a number of the main progressive movements in the second half of the 20th century. He was very important in the anti-war movement against the Vietnam War. He was very active in the civil rights movement, and in fact, he was the person who, probably more than any other person, made "We Shall Overcome" the anthem of the civil rights movement. That's not one of the songs on the song sheet, because I figure everybody knows that. And he was also very, very important in the conservation and green movement that is still ongoing, and he was instrumental in cleaning up the Hudson River where he lived. He lived up near Beacon somewhere. I forget exactly the town. So, there's a story about Pete, but before I tell that story, I want to just say also that I call him Pete because he's not just like some famous person that maybe I heard of. He used to come to my summer camp in the 50s. So every summer for about 5 years, when he probably didn't have a whole lot of other jobs because he was blacklisted, and if, for those of you who don't know what that is, you can ask your parents or your grandparents. So he would go around to a lot of different summer camps, and so I and the 150 or so other boys and girls in my camp got to spend a weekend with him. And he would teach us songs, and he would call a big square dance and at the height of the weekend celebration. And so the songs that are on this song sheet are all songs that I learned from him way back when. And some of them you may actually know. These are all songs that, as it turned out, were written in the 40s or early 50s, and some of them have endured for a very, very long time. So the story that I want to tell you is, I think it's true. I don't think it's an apocryphal story. I think it's true. In the early 1970s, Pete was invited to sing in Barcelona by a very, at that time, incipient and small democracy, freedom party that really wasn't quite legal yet because Franco, his dictatorship, was still ruling the country, but not for much longer. And he was singing, he was invited to sing in the stadium, and all day there were rock bands singing, but most of the people had come to hear him. And just before he was to go on, the state police, Franco's police, came backstage and presented him with a list of songs that he was not to sing. And he looked at the list and he said, "This looks like everything I was planning to sing." So he said, "Okay, I won't sing them." And he went out on the stage and he told the audience what had just happened. And he said, "I'm just going to play a few chords. They didn't say that you can't sing them. They just said I can't sing them." And the people, 100,000 people in that stadium, knew all the words to all the songs that he played. So in that spirit, and in memory of Pete Seeger, who just died in January of this year, that's why I made the song sheet, and I hope everybody will join me in singing some of my favorite Pete Seeger songs. Okay. So the first one is If I Had a Hammer, and I think probably a lot of you know this. So I'll try to find a key that everybody can sing in, and just to translate the verses a little bit. So it goes the way the first verse is, and then for If I Had a Bell and If I Had a Song, it repeats the same lines that If I Had a Hammer, and then the last verse is different a little bit. Tune is the same throughout. So, if I had a hammer,
I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out warning, I'd ring out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land.
and if I
Had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. I've got a hammer, and I've got a bell, and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, it's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land.
Thank you. I noticed that you all are singing a slightly different version than what I was singing. And you were singing a version that was popularized by some group later, much after Pete. I wish I'd remembered that, but I didn't. Okay, so this next song, Peter, Paul, and Mary? Thank you.